you struggle with social anxiety, you might not even remember anymore what normal nervousness feels like. And that's why I made this video. It's really important to understand the difference between normal nervousness and social anxiety. But here's something important. Nervousness itself, it's not the problem. Feeling nervous is a natural part of being human. Everyone feels nervous sometimes. Before speaking in public, in new situations, or when something really matters. But there's a difference between feeling nervous and living in constant anxiety and fear. So in this video, I want to help you clearly understand the difference between normal nervousness and social anxiety that start to limit your life. And if you recognize yourself in the second one, you are in the right place. Hi, my name is Tia Minaya. I help people with social anxiety using a mind-body approach and nervous system-based tools. I've now been doing this work for 9 years in Finland, helping hundreds of people move toward a more relaxed life. My own social anxiety started when I was 14 years old, and it wasn't until adulthood that I found tools that truly helped me. Before, I didn't even know what normal nervousness felt like. I only knew a kind of panic-filled fear and anxiety, until I was able to release my body from a chronic state of emergency and learn to regulate my nervous system, my vagal brake. In other words, I learned to use my nervous system to regulate my emotional responses. Now, normal nervousness no longer escalates into total panic like it used to. So if you're also looking for help with social anxiety, you can subscribe to this new channel. Okay, so let's get into it. What's the actual difference between normal nervousness and social anxiety? I'm going to walk you through 4 key differences. First, normal nervousness usually shows up in situations that are widely considered stressful, like public speaking, job interviews, or your first day in a new job. But social anxiety often shows up in everyday situations that other people don't find stressful at all, like eating in front of others, making a phone call, being in a meeting, or even paying at a store. And this is often confusing because you might find yourself thinking, why does this feel so hard for me? And at the same time, your mind might say, there's nothing to be afraid of. But your body still reacts. And it just wants to get you out of the situation as quickly as possible. Okay, the second difference is the intensity. Normal nervousness might feel uncomfortable, but it's manageable. You can still function. But social anxiety, on the other hand, can feel overwhelming. It can include anxiety, panic, shame, fear of being judged, fear of losing control, and a strong urge to escape the situation. And this is where it really starts to affect your life. So the third difference is this. Normal nervousness doesn't limit your life. It comes and it goes. But social anxiety can start to shape your decisions. You might avoid situations, hold yourself back, or start choosing a smaller life than you truly want and deserve. And very often, this is not just in your head. It's connected to your nervous system. Your body may be stuck in a constant state of alert. And sometimes this goes back a long way. You may have had to stay alert even as a child. I did. Your body and brain learned that you always have to be on guard because anything could happen at any moment. And over time, your system learned it's not safe to relax. So what actually helps and how can you begin to feel safer in these challenging situations? First, we need to approach it a bit differently depending on whether it's social anxiety or just normal nervousness. So here's the fourth difference where we can actually find help. With normal nervousness, you can learn to regulate it. Mind-body practices can help calm your nervous system and bring a sense of safety into these situations. But with social anxiety, those same tools, they will help. But often you also need deeper nervous system work and sometimes even trauma healing to help your body come out of that constant state of alert. And actually in my next video, we're going to dive into the root causes of social anxiety and in particular how it can be linked to traumatic experiences. And when we start working on our social anxiety, the goal is not to eliminate the nervousness completely, but to reduce the anxiety and shame around it and replace it with a sense of safety and trust. So I'm curious, what did this bring up for you? Do you recognize more normal nervousness or something that feels more like social anxiety? You can share in the comments. I'd love to hear. And if you are struggling with chronic social anxiety, I want you to hear this. You are not alone. This is so much common that it seems. People just don't talk about it because of shame. And that's exactly why this channel exists. So you don't have to go through this alone. In my future videos, we will talk more about the root causes of social anxiety and very practical tools to help you regulate your nervous system. The goal is to build a real sense of safety inside your body and mind. So thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.